Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to Storytime Saturday, episode 9. Now, this is going to be about some awkward experience that I've had, and trust me, I've had plenty of awkward experiences, but, since it's been a while since I did my last Storytime Saturday, I'm going to be doing like a 2-for-1, a two-way, Storytime Saturday. It's kind of like a story within a video, within a story. There's two stories, basically, in this video that I'm going to be talking about, both awkward in their own way. But first off, this is a Vertigo gameplay on Hardpoint. And now this is the first time I played Hardpoint on Vertigo, and so I had no idea what the spots were or anything, but I went ham. Like, you have no idea. I just went so, like, I don't know what happened. Like, it was like 4 a.m. I was like, shit, I need to make a video for Storytime Saturday. I need to get a gameplay. You can see right there was the beginning of my little streak. But so anyway, this is gonna be talking about my awkward experience. And look at this. Just watch it. Just take a moment of silence for all the pigs that was slain in this amount of ham that was dealt. Oh my god. Oh yeah. And it's not over yet. But anyway, so I'll be talking about some awkward experiences. And so first off, what we have is this one time I went to this camp. Alright, so this is back at the end of my freshman year, back in 2011. And so I think I just turned 15, and I went to this camp with some people who went to my church, and everything was all good. So we went to this camp, and it was, you know what, we were all excited and everything. It was going to be like a good time, and we could all just hang out. There's going to be a bunch of people there. So first off, this has to do with a girl, and I'm not like a player or anything, but I can talk to girls if the opportunity comes to me. Like, I'm not like, oh, I can talk to any girl in the world. But anyway, we went to this camp, and there was some people that I knew within my group, and there were like 8 girls that went with my group, and I could talk to them. Like, I was also with my best friend, and he had a girlfriend, and I could talk to her, obviously, and I could talk to like 2 other girls there, like really, really well. We're really good friends, and I actually got one of their numbers, which is actually pretty cool. But anyway, so we ran into this one girl who didn't go to our area. She was like in Las Vegas, and we live in Arizona, so this is the first time everyone's ever met her. But she got to be friends with one of the other girls that went to our group, and so basically we all hung out with each other a little bit, and we were like talking and everything. But then she introduced me to her, and I was like, okay, whatever, I'll just say hello and everything. And so she was freaking hot. Like, oh my god, she was like a 10 out of 10, maybe 11 out of 9. Like, she was just, oh my god. Okay, so like, I got really fucking nervous, because back then I wasn't like, it was kind of that stage where I was awkward. I'm still incredibly awkward now, as you can tell, but I was in that awkward stage where these awkward moments did happen, and I wasn't really like the most talkative person. I could talk to people once I got to know them, but if it's just the first time me meeting somebody, I was pretty shy. So I saw her and I was like, oh my god, okay, I cannot mess this up. So I was like, hey, hi, I'm Michael. What's your name? She told me, and then I was like, oh, how you doing? She's like, good, how are you? I was like, good, how are you? I'm like, fuck, that's the first one. Fuck. And so like, that's just the start of it. I'm like, oh god, what did I just say? And so she's like, oh, okay. So it was kind of awkward. Like, I can tell she didn't want to be around me, but the camp was there for like 4 days, and we were bound to like bump into each other again, because it's a pretty big camp actually. Like, we were really excited to be there. It was like a zip lining. It was like a huge, I don't know how many acres, but there's a whole entire hillside and the forest. It was really awesome. But like, we were bound to run into each other at some point, and we did. So if you've ever been to a camp before, you know usually the food there is really, really shitty. Or at least sometimes it is. Like, I've been to some camps where it actually isn't all that bad, but the food here was horrible. Not only like was it unhealthy for you, like you were forced to eat hot dogs and like hamburgers and french fries and stuff like that, but it was just like fake meat for the hamburgers. It was just horrible. But one day they had Mexican for lunch, and I was like, you know what? I'm trying to watch my weight. I wasn't overweight or anything. I was just trying to get a six-pack, which I now have. But I was like, I'm not going to eat lunch today. I'm just going to sit back at the cafeteria with you guys and just talk. So that's what I told my friends. And they're like, no, come on, you should go up and eat. Go up and eat. I was like, you know what? No, Mexican doesn't sit with me that well, at least my stomach. And they're like, okay, you need to go right now. Come on, we paid, your parents paid for you to go to this camp. You might as well eat. And I'm like, oh, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going up. So I went up to go get some food, and it just so happened that girl walked past me, and my friends were like, hey, bring me, like, I don't know what it was, bring me like an apple or something. I was like, okay, whatever. So I went up, and I turned around when my friend told me that. I accidentally bumped into her, and she spilled her milk. Like, she had like a milk glass on her tray, and she spilled the milk on the tray, and it didn't get over her, luckily, but that would have been kind of hot if it did. But it spilled over some of her food, and she was like, you know what, like, I can tell, like, fuck it, number 2. That's number 2. There's gonna be more. There's gonna be more, and there was more. Trust me. So I hate the Mexican food, and it just so happened that that food was unsettling with my stomach, and, you know, it wasn't a surprise to me, but my friends were like, well, I didn't mean to, I didn't mean for you to have a bad time. I'm like, fuck you. But anyway, like I said, one of my really good friends here was off with his girlfriend, or his soon-to-be girlfriend. He actually asked her out, like, the last day of camp, which was pretty cool. But actually, this guy was in my Surgeon Simulator video, if you want to go check that out on my channel. This is the guy I'm talking about, but so he went off, and I was with this other guy who was pretty good friends with me, and these 2 girls that I was talking to a lot, and one I got their number, and I was talking to her for like a long time, but I haven't seen her in a long time. But the other one is now like doing coke and stuff, so that's awesome. But anyway, so we went down. It was just me, my guy friend, those 2 girls, and then this other hot girl. So we were walking, and I was like, oh god, I don't feel good, and then so, you know, which isn't really a good thing to do. When you're talking to, like, a girl, you're supposed to have, like, a positive vibe about you instead of saying, oh, I'm tired, oh, I'm hungry, oh, this or that. But I was like, oh, I don't feel good, because I legitimately didn't feel good. And so she's like, why? I was like, because I ate the Mexican food. And then she was like, you know, you didn't have to eat it. I was like, yeah, my friends were telling me to. And then she was like, I didn't tell you to. I was like, well, you're not my friend. And I was like, fuck, shit. And she's like, oh, okay. And that was the last time I spoke to her ever. I mean, I went back to camp next year. I didn't see her. Fortunately, I didn't see her. I kind of want to make, like, things unawkward, if that's a word. Like, I didn't want things to be continuing to be awkward. But, you know, I'd rather that happen than actually going back the next year and things be even more awkward. But that's, like, part 1 to the story. I mean, I don't know how long this commentary is going to be. I might actually use a different gameplay if it goes over, but I'll try to speed this up. I usually talk pretty quickly, but I don't know what's going on today. But this one's really quick, actually. It's a different type of awkward. Like, there's socially awkwardness, which is kind of like what I just told you in that story, but then there's awkwardness where, you know, you're just uncomfortable. And so basically this is what happened. It was a year before that, and it was just starting to me getting to that adolescent age where maybe I was like 13 to 12, so actually it was a few years before that, but I was getting in that age where, you know, you're interested in bodies and stuff. So this is like the first time I started like watching porn and everything. So I was like in my room, and I was actually really into airsoft back then. And so what my dad did was actually for Christmas bought me this, well, also a computer, which is a way I used to look at porn at, but also bought me this chair for airsoft. It's like a hunting chair, like when you go on the wild and you have like deer, you can like shoot through it. So it's like completely covering you. It's like a chair with like a tent over you, but there's like a little window where you can actually look through and like shoot your gun. So I was actually using that a lot for airsoft. So I kept it in my room when I wasn't using it, but I actually did use it for something else. So I hopped down in there and I put the hood over my head so no one could see me, and I just it's kind of awkward to talk about, but I just started, you know, watching porn and everything. So my mom, I had earphones in, by the way, of course, because I wouldn't want to be blasting that while my parents are home, but my mom was like knocking on my door, and I couldn't hear it because I have like this is my old house, so I had like a Jack and Jill bedroom, and the Jack bedroom, which is the one I'm in because it's manly, was kind of, I don't know how to, you know, visually give you a representation of this, but she knocked on the door at the far end, and I could barely hear her since I had my earphones in, and then so she unlocked it, and she saw like my tent like shaking, and she's like, what are you doing in there? And then, because my parents are like really protective, they had no idea that I was into that kind of stuff, and so like, what are you doing? Are you okay? And so it's like she lifted the thing open, and luckily when I heard footsteps coming, I pulled everything up, and she lifted the thing over, and I just, you know, I was like, fuck, and so I wasn't completely, you know, dressed, so I put my computer over my area, and luckily nothing, you know, she didn't see anything. So she was really suspicious though about it, and she had like a talk with my dad. She's like, you know, he's changing, he's not the person I used to know. And so what they did was actually like blocked all these keywords, like they blocked the word sex, you know, porn, all that stuff, but luckily they didn't block the words red and tube. So anyway, they were really mad about that. That was a very awkward moment. But these are some of the awkward moments that I've had. Thank you all so much for watching. In the last 3 days, I've gotten almost 1,000 subscribers, which is fucking awesome. So yeah, all you new people, nice to meet you. My name is YayItDrops. Yeah, that was awkward. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and new videos coming soon.